சிவா திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹரஹர மகாதேவா. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனை போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். I take pleasure in worshipping the golden feet of Shri Guru Maha Sannidhanam, who holds the 24th Gurubida of Thirukkayilaya Parambarai, Meykanda Santhaanam, Thiruaavaduthurai Aatheenam, with the grace of Sri Gnanama Nadaraja Perumal, Aatheena Guru Mudalvar Sri Namashivaya Murthigal, and Aatheena Kuladevam Srimat Madhava Sivayogic with my mind, speech, and body. Today we are going to discuss on the topic of the Sivayogic life of Sri Nambi Aaroorar in the seminar, which is being held online under the divine guidance and blessings of Shri Guru Maha Sannidhanam on the occasion of Adi Swadi. Sri Nambi Aaroorar Guru Pooja 2025. The Devas and the Asuras together spin the Parkadal. The Devas and the Asuras together spin the Parkadal. While spinning Parkadal, Kappagam came, Kamadeni came, many other things came. Indiran and others took them as their own things. The nectar had not yet come. Before that, a great poison appeared. The poison of Alakalam appeared, which makes one faint at the touch of its air itself. Then the Devas were afraid and trembled. They had gone to the spin, the Parkadal, with the desire to attain immortality. And now a poison had emerged that would destroy the world in an instant. They all went before Lord Shiva, fell down and worshipped him, complaining about the trouble they have suffered. Lord Shiva, who is Karunanidhi, blessed them by forgetting their crime of not remembering him. He said, "Bring the poison, I will swallow it." Bringing poison, how can go near it? The Devas said tremblingly. Lord Shiva went inside and stood in front of a standing mirror to see his divine form. From the image that appeared in the mirror, a very beautiful figure emerged. Looking at the handsome one, Lord Shiva ordered him to immediately to go and bring the poison of Alalam. When he did so, the Lord Shiva swallowed the poison and placed it in his neck. As the block troubled the Devas removed, they spin the Parkadal again and consumed the nectar. The handsome man who appeared in the mirror got the name of Alala Sundarar because of his splendor and the pride of bringing Alala poison. As a personal attendant of Lord Shiva, he understood the task of carrying garlands and Tiruniru to the Lord. One day, in the Nandamanam of Mount Kailash, two of Umadevi's friends, Anandita and Kamalini, were picking flowers to wear in the hair of the Divine Mother. Then Alala Sundaran arrived there. He saw two beautiful girls picking flowers. A feeling of joy arose within him. His mind went to them. Seeing his beauty, the minds of the two girls who saw him also went to him. Alala Sundaran picked the flowers and left. Both the girls too picked the flowers and took them away. The Lord Shiva realized the news that Alala Sundaran had given his heart to two girls. He told him, "You have fallen in love with both of them. That love must be fulfilled and you will get happiness. That must happen in the earth. Therefore, we should be born in the earth, live happily with those two girls, and then come here." Hearing this, Alala Sundaran folded his hands and said, "O Lord, I have received the blessings of serving you here. If I were to live here and take birth in the world, I would be completely lost." He prayed to the Lord to come and protect him in his human birth. Sivaperuman also agreed to do so. As a result of this auspicious event that took place that day, Alala Sundaran incarnated as Aaruran in the Saiva family of Thirunavalur in order to glorify the southern region and bless Thirukkayilaya. Kamalini incarnated as Paravi Nachiyar in Thiruvarur, and Ananthida incarnated as Sangli Nachiyar in Tiruvutri. Tirumunaipadi Nadu is a region in the central country. In the country, in a town called Thirunavalur, a scholar named Sadayanar was born in the Adisaiva clan, who had been serving Sivaperuman for generations. His wife's name was Isaiyaniyar. Alalasundara was incarnated as a child to both of them. They named him Aaruran and brought him up with love. The child was growing up. King Narasingha Munayarayar, who ruled the Thirumunaippadi kingdom from Thirukkayilaya, would often come to Thirunavalur to have darshan of the Lord. Aarurar was playing his childhood games. One day, while he was playing with a small chariot, Narasingha Munayarayar, who had come for darshan, saw the child. The image of the beautiful and radiant child caught the king's eye and mind. From then on, whenever the king came to Navalu, he would see Aarurar, embrace him, kiss him, and comfort him. And he became very happy. Love grew between Aarurar and Narasingha Munayarayar. The king felt a desire to keep Aarurar with him and raise him. And he slowly expressed his wish to the Sadayanar and Isaiyaniyar. Seeing the king's person, they agreed. Narasingha Munayarayar immediately accepted him as his own child and raised him like a royal prince. Having acquired the character befitting on Andanar and the wealth befitting a king, Aarurar grew up day by day and in a state of great beauty. At the appropriate time, the king did him Ubanayanam and began to teach him the arts. Alalasundara practiced elephant riding and horse riding befitting a king and studied Vedas, Agamas, and other arts in accordance with the teaching of the Andanar. He became great in knowledge and gave astonishment, pride, and joy to his parents and those who raised him. The time for his marriage came. Sadayanar tried to choose a girl from a good clan and marry her to Aarurar. He chose the daughter of Adisaiva clan, Sadangavi Sivacharya, from a nearby town called Puttur, and decided to accept his as Aarurar's wife. Narasingha Munayarayar was pleased to hear this and decided to conduct the wedding in a manner befitting the son of a king. He also wrote a wedding letter regarding the auspicious day. People from many villages gathered to witness this wedding. Both men and women came and filled the town. The wedding day arrived. Aarurar performed the Thirumanjanam and dressed as bridegroom. He mounted the yoga horse and surrounded by relatives and others. Arrayed from Thirunavalur to Puttur, the village where the bride was born. The people of Puttur, knowing that the groom was coming, they decorated the whole town. They carried kalasam, incense, and lamps. They sparkled flowers, incense, and rose water. They threw akshadai. Thus, the wedding guests came to meet the wedding party. Aarurar came and got down near wedding hall. The Lord Shiva thought of performing auspicious deeds to stop Aarurar. He appeared in the form of an old Vedic man. The old man who entered the wedding hall said, "Everyone here, listen to what I am going to say." The Andanas and Aarurar's present there said to the old man, "You're welcome. Please say what you want to say." The old man said to Navalur Nambi, "There is a case between you and me. You shall get married only after it is settled." There is a case between you and me. You should get married only after it is settled. If you have such a case, I will marry only after it is over. Tell me, said Aarurar. Immediately, the Andanar addressed everyone in the assembly, saying, "This Navaluran is my slave." Those who heard it wondered, why is he talking like this? They laughed, saying, "What new thing is this?" They laughed at that. Aaroorar said, "This Andanar is speaking well." He laughed and saying that. Seeing that, the old man put his towel on his shoulder and went to Aaroorar. He went forward and said, "What are you laughing at? Look here. This is the slave certificate that your grandfather wrote to me. And you are laughing at this news?" He asked angrily. "It is not useful for one Andana to be a slave to another Andana. You are saying something new. We have heard a miracle from your mouth that we have never heard before. Are you mad?" Aaroorar said, "Let me be mad or let me be a devil. I don't care. No matter how much you insult me, I won't be ashamed. If you don't know me, don't stand there and talk nonsenses. You must serve me. That is the duty of a slave." Aaroorar thought, "When I see him, my heart melts with love. But the grace in words he speaks arouse anger. He seems to have a slave certificate. Let's see that too," he thought, and said, "Where? Show me the document." Hearing that, the Andanar said, "You are not worthy to look at the certificate. I will show it to the assembly. You are a person who is committed to do the work." Hearing this, Aaroorar got angry. He followed him to snatch the document from him. The old man ran to the wedding hall, and Aaroorar, that followed him, grabbed the document from him by force and said, "How can an Andanar become a slave? What way is this?" and tore the document and threw it away. Saying this, the old man complained, "What justice is this?" Those nearby pushed Aaroorar aside and said to the old man, "The way you are speaking is a tradition that does not exist anywhere in the world. Who are you to argue with this? Where are you from? Tell me." "I'm the one who is here. My home is the nearby town of Venainallur. Let it be." He forcibly took the document from my hand and destroyed it. Isn't this what he did to change the truth? From this, he has shown that he is a slave, said the old man. Aaroorar thought, "This man looks like some old liar." He felt an unknowing love for him. "If you are from Venainallur, we can settle this case in the town itself. Come," he said. "I will do the same. If you come to Venainallur, I will show the original certificates in front of the Vedic people of the village council and establish that you are a slave. The one you tore is not the original document," he said, and start leaving holding his stick. Aaroorar followed the Vedier like iron following a magnet. The people around him also went with him, saying, "How wonderful is this?" They all approached Venainallur and reached the assembly there. In those days, every village would have an assembly of good people and elders. The members of this assembly would look after and manage the common affairs of the village. If any case arose in the village, they would investigate and decide. Standing in front of the Vedias in Venainallur Sabha, the old Andanar said, "This Nabaluran is my slave. This Nabal Aruran is my slave. The document I have shown is proof of that he was torn. Here he comes. This is my complaint." The elders in the assembly heard this and said, "What, sir? Are you talking about a new case? There is no Andanar slavery in this state, is there? Isn't this a tradition that has been passed through generations?" "The document he tore was written down by his grandfather and give it to me," he said. Immediately, the assembly turned to Nambi Aaroorar and asked, "If he showed the document someone has written with all his heart, would it be successful to take it by force and destroy it?" The old scholar stated his case. "What is your intention?" "O great ones, who have realized all scriptures, you know that I am Saiva. He is making me his slave. Is this not an illusion that can be understood by the mind? What can I say? I do not understand it at all, said Nambi Aaroorar. The assembly said to the Vedya, you must establish before us with proof that he is your slave. Source one of these three, a decree, a document, or a vision seen by others, he said. He said, the leaf he tore off earlier is the copied one. I have the original document with me. Show me that, the assembly said. I'll show you. But if he forcefully grabs the two and tears it off, what should I do? Vedya asked. The assembly said, we will not let him do that. When the assembly affirmed, the Vedya showed the original. As per the order of the assembly, the accountant there bought it. He opened it, which was very bold, and began to read it. This is a document that I, the Saiva Andanar of Navalur, Aaroorar, have written to the great Andanar of Veninallur Pithan. I and those who come after me are committed to serve him as slaves. These are my writings. Those who asked to read the document also asked for the name of the witness. And when they saw the writings, they agreed. They are their writings. Then they looked at Nambi Aaroorar and said, look carefully and find out whether this handwriting is that of your grandfather. Then the great man who had come to claim the case said, if there are other documents written by this man's grandfather, bring them and examine them carefully and make a clear conclusion. The council members immediately brought the document that were kept in the archive, and when they looked at them, they saw that both were the same. Immediately, there was nothing more to see. You, Nambi Aaroorar, are defeated by this man. Therefore, as stated in the document, is it your duty to serve him? The council members ruled. Nambi Aaroorar said, if this is the way of justice, can I say that I will not agree it to? Can I say that I will not agree to it? Then the assembly turned to the old Andanar and asked, Andanar Peruman, in the document you showed, it says that this town is your town. Where is your house here? How long you have been living here? The Andanar, who had won the case, said, does no one recognize me? Then come with me. He walked ahead with the Vedyas, and Nambi Aaroorar in the assembly followed behind. He entered the Thiruavaduthurai in Thirukkayilaya temple and disappeared. Those who came after him were shocked to see him. Why did the elder enter this temple? Nambi Aaroorar thought. So he entered the temple of Thiruaavaduthirai and called him. The Lord appeared in Rishabha vehicle and said, you are my slave. You were born into the world because of our order. As we promised, we came here and stopped you from worldly things and protected you. Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar cried out like a calf hearing the lowing of its mother cow, folded his hands on his head and danced. He sang, Emperuman himself came and possessed me. It is because of his great blessings, he exclaimed. Then the Lord said, since you spoke harshly to me, you are called one to another. The most pleasing things to us is singing. Therefore, you sing to us in Tamil songs. Nambi Aaroorar prayed, Perumane, who come in the front of a Vedya and conquered and possessed me. O ocean of qualities, how can I know what to sing? He melted. The Lord said, you used to call us Pithan, so start with Pithan and sing. With that grace, the one thunder began to singing the first Tirupadiga of the Tirupattu, beginning with Pitta Piraisudi. The girl who was about to marry Nambi Aaroorar later remained a virgin and lived meditating on him, attaining the status of Shiva. Nambi Aaroorar went to Tiruthrayur, worshipped Lord Shiva there, and sang Tirupadigam. He worshipped some other places. He felt a desire to go to Thilai and worship the dancing Lord. He crossed the Penai river and stand outside Tiruvadigai. That is the place. Thirunavukarasar, a soldier of the Ulavar army, he had lived and worshipped Lord Shiva for a long time. Nambi Aaroorar decided not to trample the Tirupati, so he stayed that night in a monastery nearby place called Chittavanamada and lay down, thinking of Thiruvadigai Perumal. At the time, Lord Shiva, appearing as an old Anthanar, entered the monastery where Nambi Aaroorar was staying and prayed. Lord Shiva was lying down next to Nambi Aaroorar and placed his feet on his head. Then Nambi Aaroorar said, Ayya, you are placing your feet on my head. The Lord said, my disorientation has come due to my old age. Immediately, Nambi Aaroorar got up and laid his head on the other side. Even then, the Vediyar kept lying with his feet on the head of Nambi Aaroorar. Nambi Aaroorar asked, what is this? No matter how I lie down, you are placing your feet on my head. Who are you? The Vediyar laughed and said, don't you know me? And disappeared. Nambi Aaroorar was moved to tears when he realized that the one who had come was the Lord Shiva. He immediately sang the Padigam to the Thiruvaviratana Peruman, beginning with the words, Tammane Ariyada Sadiyar Ulare. Then he did holy dip in the Kedila river, visited the Tirumani Kuli, went to Tiruthinai Nagar, worshipped Lord Shiva, sang the Tirupadigam, and went towards Thirukkayilaya. He came near Thillai, where the sound of musical instruments and the sound of the Vedas were resounding without interruption. He bowed to the temple tower and entered through the northern gate entrance. Knowing his arrival, the Andharas of Thillai welcomed him and bowed down to him. Nambi Aaroorar also bowed down back to them and entered the divine street with great desire to worship Ambalavanar. He reached the temple and entered Tiruchitrambalam and worshipped Lord Nataraj. What can be said about the bliss that he experienced then? His other senses became unconscious, and only his eyes became one with the dancing form of the Lord Shiva. All those inner senses stopped running, and his mind alone stood in meditation on the Lord Shiva. Sattva guna predominates while others are subsumed. He stood in the state. The vision of the Lord Thirukkayilaya filled his eyes with an ocean of great bliss. The state is sung by Devachekila very beautifully. ஐந்து பேர் அறிவும் கண்களை கொல்ல அளப்பரும் கரணங்கள் நான்கும் சிந்தையே ஆக குணம் ஒரு மூன்றும் திருந்து சாத்விகமே ஆக இந்துவாள் சடையான் ஆடும் ஆனந்த எல்லையில் தனிப்பெரும் கூத்தின் வந்த பேர் இன்ப வெள்ளத்துள் திளைத்து மாறிலா மகிழ்ச்சியின் மலர்ந்தார். Nambi Aaroorar exclaimed, this birth in which I received this divine vision is a pure birth. He sang the Tirupadigam. Then a voice rose in the sky. May you return to Aarur. Hearing the voice, come to Thiruvarur. Nambi Aaroorar left Thillai after worshipping the Lord. He came out through the south gate, crossed the Kollida river and approached Srikali. Since it was the place where Thiruñana Sambandha Perumal incarnated, he stood outside and worshipped, saying that he should not step inside it. At the time, Brahmapurishwarar gave him a darshan. There, he sang a Tirupadigam and visited Thirukolaka, Thirupunkur, Mayiladuthurai, Ambarmagalam, Thirupugalur, and reached Thiruvarur. As I have called Nambi Aaroorar is coming here, may you welcome him, the Lord announced to the people of Thiruvarur in a dream. Nambi Aaroorar, who has been blessed by Lord Shiva, is our leader. The people of the town decorated the city in a way that was befitting to welcome him. They put up big flags in the palace and halls. They tied Thoranam, Kumukam, and banana trees. They pull up full kalasas and lamps. They cleaned the verandas, made columns with flowers and huge garlands in rows. They set up panthers here and there. They sprinkle rose water on the streets. The auspicious instruments, songs were played. The women were dancing, and there was a great deal of joy everywhere. The devotees has gathered and were standing at the city gate waiting for Nambi Aaroorar. As soon as Nambi Aaroorar arrived, everyone worshipped him, and he, in return, joined his hands and walked along the temple path. While walking, he also sang the Tirupadigam starting with Endai iruppadum Aarur, அவர் எம்மையும் ஆழ்வரோ கேளீர். He went to the temple, bowed at the entrance, entered the temple, and went to the shrine of the Lord and worshipped. His heart was filled with joy, and he sang the Tirupadigam. Then a voice arose in the sky. We have become your friend. May you always be happy. Wear the wedding dress you wore when we were protecting you. The Lord blessed him. Hearing that, one thunder said, "Oh Lord, what is your mercy?" He bowed down several times and then went to the shrine of Vidhi Vidangar Tyagarajar. From then on, Nambi Aaroorar stayed living in Thiruvaru. He was also given a new name, Thambiran Tholar. The original name of Nambi Aaroorar before this incarnation was Salala Sundarar. Considering that, he was given the names Sundarar and Sundaramurthy. The name of the child given by the parents was Aaruran. Since he incarnated in Tirunavalu, he was known as Naval Aaruran, Navalar Koman, and Nambi Aaroorar because of Adi Saiva. He would also call him Nam Tamar Uran, and the names given by the Lord were also given to him as Van Thondar and Thambiran Tholar. A woman named Kamalini, who was from Thirukkayilaya, was born in the Rudrakaniyar clan in Thiruvaru and grew up with the name of Paravayar. He excelled in Shiva devotion by serving the Lord's temple. One day, Nambi Aaroorar saw the woman in the temple. Her beauty attracted Nambi's heart. He thought that it was happened by the grace of Lord Shiva. Just like that, Paravayar, who was a person who did not look down anyone, saw Nambi Aaroorar and placed her heart on him. Realizing this, Lord Shiva appeared in the dreams of his devotees in Thiruvaru and said, "Get Paravai and Nambi Aaroorar married," and thus performed the wedding in a very grand manner. From then on, Nambi Aaroorar became united with his life partner Paravayar, and they practiced Vishnu, Adya devotion, and the practice of Shiva Yoga together. One day, Nambi Aaroorar entered the temple. As he passed the Devasriyan hall where the devotees were gathered, the thought arose, when will these great ones get the blessings of becoming slave? When will these great ones get the blessings of becoming slave? Nambi Aaroorar went forward and bowed down to Lord Shiva. Then the Lord Shiva granted him the grace to understand the states of the devotees. Then he commanded, "You sing the devotees." Then Thambiran Tholar said, "Oh Lord, how should I sing? Please grant the gift of singing to the one who did not know about how to sing and what to sing." The Lord said, "Thillaival Andanardam Adiyarkum Adiyen." He took the first step of the Tirupadigam. Hearing this, he was pleased and worshipped the Lord. He reached the temple of Devasriyan, prayed to the devotees there from a distance, went closer, and starting with that, what the Lord had given to him, bestowed upon him the Tiruttonda Thogai. Having sung it, he again worshipped the devotees. The Tiruttonda Thogai that he sang then became the seed of divine Sekila to sing the Tiruttonda Puranam later. Nambi Aaroorar had been living a comfortable life worshipping the Lord of Thiruvaru. A landlord from a town called Kundayur used to bring the rice, dal, jagiri he needed to the house of Paravayar. The practice of worshipping and feasting the devotees was going on the house without any interruption. Due to the lack of rain, the land was not producing enough rice and dals to be sent to the house of Paravayar. When the landlord of Kundrayur, who was upset by this, was sleeping, the Lord appeared to him in his dream, said, "We have given you a rice for Aarurar," and disappeared. When he woke up in the morning, he saw that the entire village was filled up like a mountain of rices around his house. He was amazed at the pride of Aarurar. It would take countless people to carry all the rices to Thiruvaru. What should I do? The landlord of Kundrayur went to Thiruvaru and told Nambi Aaroorar about the pails of rice and the lack of enough people to bring it. Nambi Aaroorar went to Kundayur and saw the pails of rice and praised the landlord of Kundrayur, saying, "God has given it to you for your request." Then he sang a Thirupadigam and prayed, "O Lord, there is no one to take this rice to Thiruvaru. Somehow, please send it to me there." That night, the Lord sent the Bhutaganas. All brought the entire rice to Thiruvaru. When Nambi Aaroorar woke up in the morning, he saw a mountain of rice in front of the house of Paravayar, and the entire street was a pile of rice. The entire town was covered in rice. Thinking the glory of Lord Thiruvaru, Paravayar stored the enough amount of rice in her house. She made an announcement by blowing murasu that the nearby householders can take the rice that was lying there. Everyone in Aaroorar benefited from this auspicious event. One day, Nambi Aaroorar reached the place called Tirunatiyatangudi. The Chola commander Kotkuli Nayanar was living there. He went to the place and received Nambi Aaroorar with love. Kotkuliyar worshipped Nambi Aaroorar. He made his two daughters, Singadi and Vanappagai, fall at Nambi Aarurar's feet and said, "I request you to accept them as your slaves." Nambi Aaroorar said, "These have become my daughters," and fell in love with them. Then Nambi Aaroorar went to the temple and sang a Thirupadigam, calling himself Singadiyappan. While in Thiruvaru, the Panguni Utram festival was approaching. It was a festival where devotees of Lord Shiva would gather from many places. He would feed and entertain thousands of devotees at Paravayar's house, and thinking that he would get gold for it. Nambi Aaroorar reached Tiruppugalu. While he was sitting in the temple after worshipping the Lord, he felt a little tired. So he took the bricks that had come for the renovation of temple and placed them high above his head, spread a towel, and lay down to sleep. When he woke up, he saw that all the bricks on his head, under his head, had turned into golden bricks. Nambi Aaroorar greeted Lord Shiva's grace. He sang a Thirupadigam that began with Thammaye Pugalndu. He took the gold bricks and the Pangani Utra festival was held very well. Then Nambi Aaroorar worshipped many places and sang the Padigam and came to stay at a place called Thiruaavaduthirai. At the time, the Lord appeared in his dream and asked, "Did you forget to come to Marapadi?" Nambi Aaroorar woke up from his sleep and accepted the Lord's divine command, went to Thirumalapadi, worshipped the Vajra Tambeshwarar there, and sang the Padigam. Then he went to some other places and worshipped Lord Shiva there and reached Thirukkayilaya. When he worshipped the Lord there and asked for gold, Lord Shiva did not give him anything. Saying this out of friendship, Thambiran Tholar sang a Tirupadigam starting with Ivaralla Dilayo Piranar. Immediately, Lord Shiva had granted him a Vilunidhi Kurvai. What is that? Vilunidhi Kurvai. It means treasure, great treasure. Nambi Aaroorar stayed there for a few days. Leaving that place, Nambi Aaroorar went to various Shiva temples and worshipped Lord Shiva, and were on the way to place a call, and they're on a place to call Koodalayattu. At the time, the Lord came there in the form of an Andanar. Nambi Aaroorar asked, "Which is the way to Tirumudugundram?" The men replied, "This is the way to Koodalayattu," and continued with him for a short distance and disappeared. Nambi Aaroorar, moved by the Lord's mercy, sang the Thirupathikam beginning with Vadivide Maluvendi and praised the Lord of Koodalayattu, singing Adigal Ivvali Ponda Adisayam Ariyene. Then he went to Koodalayattu, worshipped the Lord, and from there reached Tirumudugundram. Seeing the temple tower, Nambi Aaroorar bowed down and entered the temple, worshipped Parambarai Nathan. He bowed again with a desire for gold and sang the Padikam that begins, Meyyai Mutra Podi Pusiyor Nambi. Meyyai Mutra Podi Pusiyor Nambi. The Lord was pleased and bestowed 12,000 gold pieces. Upon receiving it, Nambi Aaroorar, who was pleased, prayed to the Lord, "My Lord, how can I carry this? Please grant me the grace to bring all these goods to Aaroorar." Then there is a voice said, "Leave this gold here at Manimutaru river, then go to Thiruvarur and take it from the pond there." Thambiran Tolar cut off a portion of the gold as a sample and took it, put the rest into the Manimutaru river and left. From there, Nambi Aaroorar went to Thillai and worshipped Lord Nataraja and was overwhelmed with great joy. He paid homage to the shrines on the way and reached Thiruvarur. After seeing the Lord, he settled in the house of Paravayar. One day, he called Paravayar, "The Lord has given us great wealth. He ordered us to put it in Manimutaru river and take it from the pond in this town. I have put 12,000 gold coins in the river. Today, I'll go and take it from Kamalalaya pond there. Come." Hearing this, Paravayar smiled and said, "What is this? Will someone do this?" He promised, "By the grace of the God, I will definitely take the gold from the pond and give it to you." He called her, went to the temple, worshipped the Lord, and reached the shore of the pond. He got into the pool and began to search with his feet as if he is searching for something he had previously placed. The Lord, desired to hear his song, did not saw the gold there. The Paravayar, who was standing on the bank, said, "What a good job you are doing. You are searching in the pond for what you have thrown into the river. Will you find it?" She laughed. Nambi Aaroorar couldn't bear her mockery, said, "Swami, you are taking my honor in front of her. Please show me those golds to remove my shame." He sang the Thirupathikam, starting with Pon Seida Meniyinir. Even after singing 8 songs, no gold was found. So Nambi Aaroorar, who was heartbroken, sang the 9th song. "ஏத்தாதிருந்தறியேன் இமையோர் தனி நாயகனே, முத்தாய் உலகுக்கெல்லாம் முதுகுன்றமர்ந்தவனே, பூத்தாரும் குழலால் பறவை இவள் தன்முகப்பே, பூத்தா தந்தருளாய் கொடியேன் இட்டலம் கெடவே." And as soon as he sang it, the gold was found on him. He took it and brought it to the shore. Everyone present there was amazed. When the gold was examined and graded, the Lord again liked his song and showed him gold of slightly lower quality. Nambi Aaroorar prayed to the Lord again, and Lord Shiva, pleased with his song, changed it to the gold of good quality. Saying this, Nambi Aaroorar's heart cooled. They took the gold to the house. Nambi Aaroorar worshipped the Lord with Paravayar. While staying in Thiruvarur, Nambi Aaroorar visited many places around and worshipped Lord Shiva. He visited places like Thirunallaru, Thirukkadavur Veerattam, Thirukkadavur Mayanam, Thiruvalampuram, Thiruchaikadu, Thiruvenkadu, Tirunanipalli, Tiruchembanpalli, Tirunindriyu, Tiruneedu, Seegali, and reached a place called Thirukkayilaya. At the time, he was very hungry and thirsty. The Lord took him water and a bag of food on his way. He set up a cool pavilion on one side and took the form of Vedya and stayed there. The Lord of Thirukkayilaya waited for the arrival of Nambi Aaroorar. Thambiran Tolar entered the pavilion with his surroundings and eagerly spoke to the Vediyar there. The Lord, who had come as a Vediyar, said, "It seems all of you are very hungry. Without delay, eat the food I have brought. Drink cold water and take some rest." Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar agreed and received the food given by the Lord and ate with the devotees who had come with. There were many devotees who had come with him, and those who had come there hungry, and the food was more than enough for all of them. After eating the food and drinking the sweet water, Nambi Aaroorar fell asleep in the pavilion. Everyone nearby fell asleep. Then Lord Shiva disappeared along with the pavilion he had made. When Nambi Aaroorar, who was sleeping, wake up, he did not see the pavilion or the Vediyar. He realized that God had done this and was amazed. He sang the Thirupadigam starting with Ittanai Amatre Arindilen Emperuman. As he sang, he went to Thirukkayilaya, reached the temple, worshipped Lord Shiva, and felt happy. After staying there for a few days, he visited Thirukkayilaya and entered Thillai. He worshipped Lord Nadaraja and stayed there for a few days. Then he went to Tiruthinai and worshipped the Lord and reached Thirunaavalu. Knowing the arrival of Nambi Aaroorar, the villagers decorated the town and welcomed him. Nambi Aaroorar went into the temple, worshipped the Lord, and sang a padigam. He stayed there for a few days, received the Lord's grace, and became eager to worship the temples of Tondainadu and left from there. He passed through many places in between and reached Thirukkayilaya, worshipped the Lord, and sang the Thirupadigam. From there, he visited the place called Thirukkachur. The temple there is called Alakoyil. He entered the temple, worshipped Lord Shiva, and came out. It was time to eat. The maids who came with Nambi Aaroorar to cook food had not yet arrived. Therefore, he was suffering from hunger and sat outside the temple. Unable to see that he was hungry, the Lord came in the form of an Aatheena, carrying an empty vessel in his hand. In his hand. He came to Nambi Aaroorar and said, "You are very tired from hunger. I'll bring you alms in the town now and offer it to you. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere else. Stay here for a while." And set out of to buy alms. He went to every houses on the road and brought alms and presented them to Nambi Aaroorar. He honored the Aatheena who had come and ate the food he had given him and was happy. Then the Lord disappeared without his knowledge. Knowing that the Aatheena who had come was the Lord, he exclaimed, "How merciful is the Lord, who has humbled himself for me, who has asked for alms from houses to house, and who has given me food." And began to sing a padigam beginning with Muduvai Vorikadara. From Thirukkachur, he went to Kanjipuram and worshipped Ekamrar and many other places there. After visiting the place of Vanparthan Panangattu and Thiruvallam, he reached Thirukkayilaya. He worshipped Kalathiyappa, who had bestowed blessings on Kannappa, and stayed there for a few days. While there, he mentally worshipped the Thiruparabadam called as Srisailam and Thirukketaram and sang the Thirupadigam. After a few days, he left from there and reached Thiruvettriyur. Upon reaching Thiruvettriyur, Nambi Aaroorar went to the temple and worshipped the Lord who is giving wisdom and sang the Thirupadigam. He stayed at the place and from time to time visited the Lord and enjoyed his blessings. In a town called Nyayirani near Thiruvettriyur, there lived a wealthy farmer. Everyone called him Nyayirukkilar, who have seen earlier that one of the two girls who served Umadeviyar in Thirukkayilaya was born as Paravayar in Thiruvettriyur, and married Nambi Aaroorar. Another, Anantide was born as Nyayirikila's daughter and grew up. She was beautiful, gracefully and divinely radiant and reached the age of marriage. Seeing this, her mother and father said, "We should find a suitable husband for her." Knowing this, the daughter Sangliya said, "I will not marry anyone except someone blessed by Lord Shiva." From then on, the parents stopped making any effort on their own. No one else knew this news. Someone sent some relatives to Nyayirikilar to discuss the marriage. He politely told those who come and sent them away, indicating his disapproval. When those who came to discuss the marriage returned, the man who had left them go died. This incident made everyone think anyone who wants to marry this girl will be harmed. Sangliyar said, "I will live alone and worship the Lord of Virtue until the end of my life." Until the end of my life. As per Sangliyar's wishes, a Kannimadam was built in Thiruvattriyur and her parents allowed her to stay there. They made all necessary arrangements and made some friends stay with her. Sangliyar used to put up a curtain in the flower-lined hall of the Thiruvattriyur temple, garland of the Lord and offer it to him. She used to garland the Lord while chanting the Panchakra mantras. One day, Sangliyar came out with a garland and opened the curtain to give it to the Lord to wear. Then one Tondar who had come there saw Sangliyar. By the fate previously said by the Lord, Nambi Aarurar's heart went to that woman. Sangliyar fulfilled her duty and entered the Kannimadam. Nambi Aaroorar, he inquired about Sangliyar and found out who she was. Fell in love with her. He went to the Thiruvattriyur Peruman and worshipped him and prayed, "Swami, you who have hidden the Ganges in your long hair," thinking that it is not enough to be happy with Uma Deviyar on one side. "Please remove my sufferings by giving me Sangliyar, who has disturbed my heart by garlanding you and worshipping you." The Lord granted him permission to do so. Then he appeared in the dream of Sangliyar and said, "O Sangli, the penitent Sangli, the one who is very dear to me, who is as penitent as Meru, and who was possessed by me in Venainalu, has requested me to give you. You marry him. You may marry him." Sangliyar prayed to the Lord and said, "O Lord, I will become the wife of the one whom you have granted. But I want to tell you something. You know that Tondar Talaivar is very happy in living in Thiruvaru." She said shyly. The Lord said, I will make him take a pledge that he will never leave you," and disappeared. The Lord said, "We asked Sangli to marry you. She said that you should do something." Nambi Aaroorar asked, "What should I do?" The Lord said, "You must make a pledge in front of her tonight that I will never leave you." Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar thought for a while. This seems to be an obstacle to my desire to go to all the temples where the Lord has arose, he thought. And then he decided to do a trick for this. He said to the Lord, "Lord, I will come with her to you, to your presence and take a pledge. But at the time, you should have gone to the Mahila tree in the temple and awaken." The Lord agreed to do so. But the Lord again went to Sangliyar and said, "Nambi Aaroorar may tell you that he will do the pledge in our Sannidhi. Don't agree to it, but ask him to do it under the Mahila tree." Then he disappeared. When Sangliyar told her friends everything she had seen in the dream, they were amazed and happy. At dawn, Sangliyar went to the temple with her friends, and Nambi Aaroorar also arrived there. He approached Sangliyar and told her what the Lord had bestowed upon him. After hearing him, Sangliyar became shy and entered the temple, and Nambi Aaroorar also entered with her. I intend to make a pledge before the Lord that I will never leave you. Come there, said Nambi Aaroorar. The friends who had heard of Sangli's dream said, it is not appropriate to do such things before God. It is enough to do it under the Magilam tree. Nambi Aaroorar thought, if he refused, they will doubt me, and agreed to do so. Everyone reached the Magila tree. Thambiran Tolar circled the tree 3 times and showed to Sangliya, I will never leave you. After that, Sangliya engaged in the service. Nambi Aaroorar went before the Lord and praised him for his grace. That very night, Lord Shiva appeared in the dreams of the devotees and commanded, get Sangli Nachiyar married to Nambi Aaroorar as per our order. They woke up at dawn and told each other about their dreams, approached Nambi Aaroorar, bowed down to him, and told him the order given by the Lord. Then they performed the wedding of Nambi Aaroorar and Sangliya. The two of them lived together in unity with the Lord's grace. A few days passed. The spring season has also known as Vasantam has arrived. And during that time, a special festival would take place in Thiruvaru. Paravayar dances and songs would be performed at the Thiruvolakam of the Vidi Vidanga Peruman. These things now come to Nambi Aaroodar's memory. I have forgotten the Thiruvarur Peruman and stayed here. He felt regretful. The desire to go to Thiruvarur and how the darshan of Emperuman grew stronger day by day. One day, he went to the Thiruvattriyur temple, worshipped, got up, and left for Thiruvarur. As soon as he crossed the border of Thiruvattriyur, both his eyes became blind because he had broken his pledge. This suffering came because he had pledged never to leave Sangliya and was now leaving, thinking, I will sing to the Lord of Vattriyur to get rid of this. He was moved and sang a Padikam for a shake of his eyesight. Even after singing, his eyesight was not restored. He went towards Thiruvaru, slowly following the guidance of those passing by. He went to Tirumulai Vayil and worshipped the Lord and sang Padikam. Then he reached a place called Venpakam. He prayed to the Lord there and said, Ni kovilil ulliro, are you in the temple? Lord Shiva gave him a stick and said, like a neighbor, said, Ulom pogirendrane, who are you going? And sent him away. It seems the Lord wanted to inform the world through Nambi Aaroorar that those who deviated from the truth, no matter how great they are, will suffer. Knowing that his prayer had not been unsuccessful in Venpakam too. His prayer has not been successful in Venpakam too. One Thondar continued his pilgrimage. After visiting Thirualankadu and Thiruvural, he reached Kanjipuram. There, while worshipping Egamdranadar and standing there, he gained sight of his left eye. He sang Egambran with gratitude. He stayed there for some time. From there, he went to many places and worshipped Tiruturuthi in Chola Kingdom. There, the disease on his skin was cured. He went towards Thiruvarur with one eye. Thiruvarur approached. As soon as he saw it from a long distance, he fell down and bowed down. He was distressed because he couldn't see its entire beauty with one eye. He entered Thiruvarur and bowed down to the temple called Paraviyun Mandali. He reached the temple of Vanmiganatha and bowed down to the Puttinam Konda Puradhanar with a deep sense of love. And he sang a Padikam and prayed that he would also given the sight of his right eye. Goddess like a Karunanidhi came down to his sufferings and blessed him with the other eye. Having regained clear vision in both eyes, Nambi Aaroorar stood in joy. He fell, he got up, he sang, and then he walked around the temple. He reached Devasriya Mandapam, where the devotees has gathered. After Nambi Aaroorar left Paravayar, Paravayar was very upset by his separation. When he heard the news that he had reached Thiruvattriyur and was living married to Sangliya, she became very angry Unable to bear it, her heart broken, she did not lie down at night and sleep. Even though she was awake, she did not find peace. She did not sit still for a while in any seat. She did not stand in one position. She did not go out. She could not forget Nambi Aaroorar. She could not think of him. She couldn't express her sorrow, the worry, and the pain of separation as she felt were melting her with her bones. In this state, Nambi Aaroorar approached Devasriya Mandapam and sent his servants to Paravayar. When they went to visit Paravayar's house as usual, they could not enter. They stood outside. Some of them reached Nambi Nayanar and informed him they know everywhere, everything happened in Thiruvachiur and did not let us in. Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar was deeply upset and thought, what should I about it? He then sent some of the best worldly scholars to Paravayar to make peace. They went to Paravayar and tried to change her anger by presenting many arguments. But she was not at all considered and said, if you mediate for him in any way, I will lose my life. Those who had gone came back in fear after hearing this. When they told Navalur Nambi what had happened, he was very upset. He was very sad. With great anxiety in his heart, he suffered without sleep at night. Everyone around him was deep in sleep, but he alone was deep in thought. I must have the grace to approach the one who caused me this birth through my previous actions. Oh Lord, if you go to her tonight and remove her anger, I will leave. There is no other way, he said, praising the Lord and melting. The Lord, unable to bear to see his friend in distress, appeared before Nambi Aaroorar with his feet on the ground. Nambi Aaroorar, overcome with joy, unfolded his hands on his head and then fell at the Lord's feet and stood up. The Lord looked at him and asked, what is the trouble that has come to you? What is the trouble that has come to you? Oh Lord, I am deeply distressed by the crime that I have committed. Please protect me and have mercy on me. By your grace, I have married Sangli in Thiruvachiur. Knowing this, Paravai is angry and says that if I come to her, she will die. Am I not your slave? You are a better friend than my mother, aren't you? I have lost my mind and I'm sorry. So please go and solve this problem tonight itself. Nambi Aaroorar prayed with broken heart. Don't worry. Right now I'll go to Paravai as your messenger, said the Lord. Nambi Aaroorar worshipped the Lord again. Immediately, Embirman left for Paravayar's house with Gananadar and the Devadas joined with him. The Thiruvarur road looked like Sivayogic. When the Lord reached Paravayar's house, the people who had come with him stood outside. And the Lord disguised himself as the priest of the Thiruvarur temple and entered alone. He entered and knocked on the locked door. Paravayar, who was lying without sleep inside, thought, it seems that he is the one who is doing Pooja to our Lord. And what is the reason for him coming here in the middle of the night? She got up in fear and opened the door. Seeing the person standing in front of her, she asked, Swami, what is the reason for you come here now? The priest said, if I do what I ask without denying it, if you do what I ask without denying it, I will tell you. Paravayar said, tell me, if I can, I will do it. He immediately said, Navalur Nambi should come here and live with you as before. Hearing that, Paravayar said, that is good what you say. Will there be any connection here with the one who left me and went to Thiruvachiur and married Sangli? What you said at night is beautiful, she said. Girl, we should forget all those wrong things done with all the wrong things doing with Nambi. Girl, you should forget all the wrongdoings that Nambi has done. Calm down your anger and accept him. That is why I asked you. You should not refuse. The priest insisted again. Paravayar got angry. It's not worthy of your pride for you to come in this house for this. I will not allow someone who has a desire in Thiruvatriyur to enter to this house. I have no business here. You have no business here either. Please go. She refused. The Lord laughed to himself. He did not reveal his truth form. He played the Thiruvilayadal to amuse Nambi Aaroorar by arousing his desire. Here Nambi Aaroorar regretted. What foolishness did I send you? An ignorant dog to remove the anger of Paravai, and waited with the hope that the Lord would somehow reconcile her anger. A time passed, where his thoughts arose in addition to his curiosity. The Lord came again. Seeing him, he rushed like a flood over the dam and welcomed him. Seeing the Lord coming with a smiling face, he thought, the matter is over, success. Oh Lord, you didn't forget the way you made me a slave, and according to the rites, today you have risen and satisfied her anger and done good, he said with joy. The Lord said, as per your wish, I went to Paravai's house and told her all your news. She did not accept it and spoke harshly. No matter how many times I begged her, she refused, he said. Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar was shocked. Oh Lord, what? Paravai refused to listen to you. Did we say this thinking that we are someone else's slave? If you do not do good to me today without love, why did you come and possess me that day? You know very well the pain I am suffering. If you do not go to Paravai and appease her anger and take me with her, my life will not last. He regretted and fell down. Saying this, the Lord looked at him with mercy and said, we'll go to her once more and we'll make a way for you to reach her. Don't worry. He said and left. Nambi Aaroorar went with him, bowed down and sent him on his way. After the priest left the home, Paravaya realized that the Lord himself had risen in that form by some signs. Oh, what have I done? I have denied what Emperor said. She regretted. She remained awake all night, looking at the gate. This time, the Lord went with his natural form. Gananadhar, Siddhar, Iyaka, and others also went with him. When he entered the house, Paravaya, with trembling body and overflowing joy, went to face the Lord and bowed down. Then the Lord said to her, by the rights that I have, we have come to you again as per Nambi Aaroorar's request. Do not refuse us before. He is very upset by your separation. If he comes here, you should accept him. Paravaya, with her hands folded on her head, trembled and said, O Lord, is it you who came as a priest and disappeared for the tabas I have written earlier? She wondered and burst into tears. What more I can do without listening to you? You came here for us and drove me here and there all night long with mercy. You have spoken well, as befits your character, saying the Lord departed from there and reached Nambi Aaroorar. Nambi Aaroorar, what has the Lord done to save my life? Will he return? He asked anxiously and looked at the path. Seeing the Lord's arrival, he went to meet him and bowed down. My Lord, what news do you bring from the woman who is tormented me without saving my life? He asked. We have appeased her anger. Now you go and join her. Nambi Aaroorar was very happy and said, Oh Lord, you are the one who gives me a bond and home. And accordingly, you have granted me suffering and then freedom. Now, what suffering do I have? He said, and fell at his feet. The Lord said, go to Paravai and live happily, and disappeared. Immediately, Nambi Aaroorar, along with his man, set out to visit Paravai's house. As dawn broke, the servants also got up and took auspicious objects like such as sandalwood, garlands, musk, camphor, and saffron with them. Paravayar was waiting for Nambi Aaroorar with flower, kalasam, rosewater, lamp, and Arathi to welcome him. She stood at the gate, surrounded by her friends. As soon as Nambi Aaroorar arrived, she bowed down to him. Overcoming her shyness and fear, Nayanar entered the house by holding Paravayar's soft hand. Both of them rejoiced in praise of the Lord's grace and His mercy and united in a flood of happiness. A man named Kalikamar was born in the town of Perumangalam on the north bank of the Kaveri River in the clan of Eyarkudi, the home of the Chola king's army leaders. He became very fond of the Shiva devotees and lived there. The news reached his ears that Nambi Aaroorar had sent Lord Shiva's messenger to Paravayar. Hearing this, he said, "How come he has sent the Lord?" He became angry and surprised. Since the Lord is the one who is easy to mingle, this man is sending a message to a girl at night. I don't know what I do if I see this man. He became very angry. Upon hearing this news, Nambi Aaroorar admitted that he had made a mistake and prayed to God. Please give some remedy for that. The Lord, wishing to make the two us friends, afflicted Kalikama Nayanar with a disease called Chulai. When he was in deep pain, the Lord went to him and blessed him by saying, Nambi Aaroorar will come and cure this. He refused, saying, it is better to suffer from this disease than to have him come and cure it. The Lord disappeared and went to Nambi Aaroorar and said, we go and cure Kalikaman Sulai disease. Nambi Aaroorar set out to visit Kalikama Nayanar and sent word of his arrival in advance. Hearing this, Erkun thought, it is better for me to die than to be cured by his hand. He stabbed himself with his sword and ended his life. His wife, hearing that Nambi Aaroorar was coming, had Erkun's body decorated and lied on the bed, saying, no one should cry, and meet Nambi Aaroorar with the necessary hospitality. When they meet, Nambi Aaroorar asked, how is Erkun's health? They said, he is lying on the bed and there is no illness. Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar said, I want to see him. And they took him there. Nambi Aaroorar saw his condition and said, I will also take my life. He took out his sword. By the grace of the Lord, Erkun, who was lying dead, came to life, stopped Nambi Aaroolar's action and took the sword. Nambi Aaroorar immediately wished Erkun, who in turn wished Nambi Aaroorar. Both of them praised the greatness of the Lord's mercy. From that day on, the two became close friends. Cheraman Perumal Nayanar ruled from Thiruvanjaikalam in Chera kingdom. Every day after he finished worshipping Lord Shiva, he would hear the sounds of the Lord's anklet. He would be satisfied with this. One day, after finishing the worship, he did not hear the sound of the anklet. So he felt sorry for himself, and after some time, he heard the sound. In addition, the Lord blessed him by saying, one thunder came to Thillai to visit us, so there was a delay. Hearing this, Cheraman became eager to see such a great devotee and enjoy himself. He left his country and went to Thirukkayilaya, and after seeing the Lord Nadaraja, he heard that Nambi Aaroorar had arrived from Thiruvaru. Nambi Aaroorar came to know of Cheraman's arrival and welcomed him. From that time, Cheraman and Nambi Aaroorar became friends. Nambi Aaroorar, who was a friend of Thambiran, now became a friend of Cheraman. Then both of them went to the Pungoyil of Thiruvaru and worshipped the Lord. Cheraman Perumal Nayanar expressed his desire to visit Thiruaavaduthirai. After visiting some of the Chola Tirupatis, both of them reached Madurai. The Pandya king, who heard of their arrival, welcomed them with due ceremony. The Chola king, who had married a Pandya woman, had also arrived at that time. Therefore, the three Vendas gathered together. They worshipped Nambi Aaroorar. Everyone went to Madurai temple and worshipped the Lord. Nambi Aaroorar sang the Tirupadigal. Later, the two friends visited many temples in Pandya kingdom and worshipped, reaching the place called Tiruchuliyil. While they were staying there for a night, Nambi Aaroorar saw a lord in his dream. It's a new form, young man form with a hairband on the head and a golden spear in the hand. He said, I'm living in Thirukkayilaya, and he immediately disappeared. There was a town nearby is called Thirukkayilaya. Kalai Peruman is the name of the Lord there. Therefore, the place was named the Kalayar temple. Realizing that the Lord had called him to that place in a dream, Nambi Aaroorar went to that place with the Chera king, worshipped the Lord, sang the Padigam, and stayed there for a few days. Then, after visiting some other places, the two reached Thiruvavaduthurai, pleased with the hospitality and the feast offered by the Paravayar. The two friends stayed there for a few days. One day, Cheraman Perumal Nayanar requested Nambi Aaroorar, please come with me to Chera kingdom. Daring to fulfill his wish, Nambi Aaroorar left with him. Leaving Thiruvavaduthurai, they reached a place called Thirukkayilaya and worshipped Lord Shiva there. This is the one of the Aadheenam. Opposite it, on the north bank of Thiruvayaru. When they stood at Thirukkayilaya and looked, the Thiruvayaru appeared on the other bank, and the Chera king expressed his desire to go to that place. At the time, a great flood has occurred in the Kaveri. It was rising so fast that even a boat could not pass. Nambi Aaroorar approached the banks of the Kaveri and sang a Tirupadigam. Immediately, the water coming from the west stopped, as if it had been blocked by a stone, and sand appeared in the middle, creating a path. The two devotees, going down to the Lord, followed it and entered the river and reached Thiruvayaru and worshipped the Lord. Then they walked again in the middle of the river, which had given way to them, and reached the south bank. As soon as they reached it, the Kaveri water began to flow as before. Seeing this miracle, Seraman and others remembered the glory of Nambi Aaroorar, praised and worshipped him. Then Cheraman Perumal took Nambi Aaroorar to the Chera country. He welcomed Nambi Aaroorar very well at Thiruanjaikalam. He took him to his palace, performed Pooja to Tiruvadi, entertained him, and gave him a feast. Having seen the Sivaperuman that was there, Nambi Aaroorar sang the Tirupadigam. Nambi Aaroorar stayed at the Thiruanjaikalam for a few days, spending time with Chera king. He could not bear to the separation from Thiruvavaduthurai. He desired to see that Lord become very great. So he took leave of the Chera king. Seraman Perumal could not bear the separation from Nambi Aaroorar and was upset. May the Lord bless you and do here peacefully. May the Lord bless you. You rule here peacefully, said Nambi Aaroorar, consoling him. Sensing the Lord's desire to go to Thiruvavaduthurai, the Chera king bowed down to him and sent him on his way. He gave him various kinds of goods and golds and bid farewell. Nambi Aaroorar, who had set out of Thiruvavaduthurai with the things he had from Cheraman, came through the Kongu country. He was coming near Tirumurugan Pundi. Everything Nambi Aaroorar had received so far was given by Lord Shiva. He did not receive anything from anyone else. Now he came with the things that Cheraman had given. It seems that the Lord thought, we'll snatch these things and give it to them with our own hands. He called the Sivaganas and said, you go as hunters and snatch the things that Nambi Aaroorar is carrying. So they disguised themselves as hunters and stopped Nambi Aaroorar, threatening him, keeping all the things as it is, otherwise we will kill you, and snatched them and ran away. Nambi Aaroorar, who lost the property, saw a temple nearby and went there. Swami, why are you here where hunters are looting? He regretted and sang a Tirupadigam, beginning with Koduku Benjile. At the time, by the grace of the Lord, all the valuables of Nambi Aaroorar were lying in the heap in the temple courtyard. Realizing this, realizing that this has happened by the grace of the Lord, Aaroorar worshipped the Lord and took the valuables. He gave them to the attendants who had come with him and sent them ahead. And with a great love, he reached Thiruvaru. While Nambi Aaroorar was in Thiruvaru, he had a desire to visit Thiruanjaikalam again and see Cheraman Perumal. So he left Thiruvarur and visited the places in Konganadu in between and reached Thirukkayilaya, also known as Avinashi. The place is now known as Avinashi. As he was coming near the road where the Vedigar lived, auspicious instruments were playing in a house. A thoranam and banana leaves had been tied at the gate of the house. In the house opposite, crying sound was heard. Noticing this, Nambi Aaroorar asked the people nearby, "Why are the two different sounds heard in two different houses?" he asked. A few years ago, two children from these two houses went to swim in the nearby pond. They were 5 years old at the time. A crocodile in the pond swallowed one of the children while they were swimming. The surviving child is undergoing Umabharathy today, and the drumming of the house shows it. The people in this house, if the child were alive, would have performed Aatheenam like this and enjoyed it. It's gone without it. They are crying because of that, he explained. Hearing this, Nambi Aaroorar felt very sorry. The family members who had lost their child came to him, hiding their pain and honor him. Seeing them, Nambi Aaroorar asked, "Have you lost your child? Have you lost your son?" They said, "That was news that happened before. Now we have the blessings of receiving your grace here." They are happy that we have visited them and has forgotten their sorrow. We should bring back his son by the grace of God, he thought. Trusting in the Lord, "Where is the pond where the crocodile swallowed the child?" he asked. And they took him there. Standing there, he thought of Avinashi and began to sing the Padigam starting with Ettan Marakkain. He sang 3 songs and started singing the 4th song. Uraipar உரை புகுந்துக வல்லார் தங்கள் உச்சியாய் அரைக்காடரவா ஆதியும் அந்தமும் ஆகினாய் குறைக்காடு சோலை புக்குளீர் அவினாசியே கரைக்கால் முதலையை பிள்ளை தர சொல்லு காலினையே. Nambi Aaroorar sang this song. Before the song ended, a crocodile came near the shore and ejected the child. By then, the child has grown up as much as he would have if he had lived in the world. The mother, seeing the child, rushed to bring him and placed him at the feet of Aaroorar. She also fell. Her husband also fell. The Vana was offered flowers. The earthlings were amazed. Everyone went to the temple and worshipped the Lord. Aaroorar, who got the child, who got released from the crocodile's mouth, performed Umabharathy on the same day and had been present and blessed, bid farewell to everyone and left to Cheraman Perumal. He visited many places in between and crossed the mountains and rivers and reached the Chera country. Aaroorar is coming towards Vanjimanagaram, having brought back the child who had entered the crocodile's mouth and given it to him. The devotees ran and informed Cheraman Perumal in advance. The Chera king was overwhelmed with joy. He had his arrival announced everywhere. He ordered the city to be decorated nicely. He mounted on an elephant that set out to meet him. When Aaroorar entered the city, Cheraman bowed to him, and Aaroorar bowed to the king and inquired about his well-being. The two, who were excellent in friendship, were inseparable. Cheraman put Aaroorar to the elephant and himself climbed behind him and held an umbrella for him. He took him around the city and took him to the Vanjimanagar palace. Aaroorar stayed there for a few days. receiving various kinds of hospitality. One day, he went to Thiruvanjaikalam temple and began to have darshan of the Lord. Then he got a thought of merging with Lord. He thought that he should live this life as well. He began to sing the Tirupadigam, Thalekku Thalaimalai Anindadennai. In the 8th song, he expressed his wish by saying, வெறுத்தேன் மனை வாழ்க்கை விட்டொழிந்தேன் விளங்கும் குலை காதுடை வேதியனே. Lord Siva, sensing Nambi Aaroolar's heart, and decided to make him his personal attendant as before. He called Brahma and other devas and said, bring Nambi Aaroorar here on a white elephant. They went to Thiruvanjaikalam and stood waiting at the temple gate. When Nambi Aaroorar came outside, this is the divine order of the Lord. As soon as he arrived, mounted the elephant and set off towards Kailash, surrounded by the devas. At that time, he thought of his friend Cheraman Perumal. Realizing this, Cheran rode a horse and came to Thiruvanjaikalam temple. He saw Nambi Aaroorar riding on a white elephant. Immediately, he recited the Panchagra in the horse air. The horse began to gallop across the sky. It passed the white elephant that Nambi Aaroorar had gone with and went over even faster. Nambi Aaroorar, who rode on the white elephant, sang a Tirupadigam in praise of the Lord. The first verse of the Padigam is, தானெனை முன்படைத்தான் அதறிந்து தன் பொன்னடிக்கே நானென பாடலந்தோ நாகினேனை பொருட்படுத்து வானெனை வந்ததிற்கொள்ள மத்த யானை அருள் புரிந்து மூணுயிர் வேறு செய்தான் முடித்தான் மலை புத்தமனே. Nambi Aaroorar reached the southern gate of the temple in Thirukkayilaya. There, Nambi Aaroorar got on from white elephant and Cheraman got on from white horse and passed through many gates and reached the gate of Thiruanukkal. Passed the gate of Thiruanukkal. Nambi Aaroorar entered, but Cheraman was unable to enter there. Hence there was a block for him. He was standing outside. Nambi Aaroorar, who entered Lord Shiva with insatiable love and fell down and stood there in the state of reverence. The Lord, seeing him, asked, Urane, have you come? He asked him with love. Uran means the one belongs to my place. How great is your mercy, which was taken hold of your slave and made him follow the path of infinite mercy. Bearing with his faults, being a simple person, how could I tell? Nambi Aaroorar said with melting heart. Then, Cheraman Perumal is standing at the gate, he said, and Sivaperuman sent Tirunandinevar to brought him there. Cheraman Perumal arrived and stood before the Lord and bowed down. The Lord smiled and said, why did you come without being invited? The Chera king, after paying homage, he said, my Lord, I have come to serve Aaroorar before this elephant. I have come to serve you. Your grace has brought me here. That is what I have come before you. I have one request to ask. The Lord asked, what? He said, O Lord, I have sung a song about Thirukkayilaya. I want it to be heard by you. You are the one who has bestowed his friendship for one thunder upon me to cut out of my bondage, he said. The Lord asked him to tell him, and there he submitted, Seirar Adiyula. Pleased to hear him, the Lord said, both of you be our Gananadhar and stay with me. From then on, one thunder became Alala Sundarar again and began to serve Sivaperumal. Cheraman Perumal stayed there as a Gananadhar and began to perform the duties of the Lord. The two, Paravayar and Sangliyar, after removal of their bondage by the grace of the goddess, they were reunited as Anantida and Kamalini. The Padigam Thanenai Munpadaithan, sung by Nambi Aaroorar, was presented to Varunan as Alivendan, and he brought it to Thiruvanjaikalam. Sathanar, who heard Adiyula in Kailash, came to a town called Tiruppidavu and released it. Thus, Nambi Aaroorar incarnated here to uplift the world and spread the fame of the Nayanmars through the Thirutondathogai, stands as one of the Saiva Samayacharyas and is praised and admired by all. I concluded our today's discussion now by worshipping and rejoicing at the feet of Sri Guru Maha Sannidhanam, which have been given me the privilege of contemplating and rejoicing in the Sivayogic life of Nambi Aaroorar. Siva Siva Tiruchitrambalam.